All right, welcome to 6G Agenda. I'm your host, Andrew, here again with my man, Justin Ward on the courts.
Yo.
And we talk about what they want. Welcome to any newcomers. Appreciate you coming through. I hope you enjoy anything you find. Leave us your feedback, comments, concerns. We're sure you may have plenty sometimes, and that's great. We love it. Go ahead and check out our description. I'll get out of the way now. Please go ahead and show us some love on our social medias, as well as we have a Gmail if you want to request anything or ask any questions. We always encourage that. Otherwise, we hope you enjoyed the last episode. Going over the agendas, man, amongst other things. And this one, I'm thinking we're gonna kind of go into, what would you call it? Not megalithic structures, but kind of Mound Society. We got the serpent mounds we could talk about. Plenty of mounds everywhere, as well as kind of some theories about petrified trees and how maybe the source of rivers possibly are coming from petrified trees.
Whoa.
Sounds wild. We'll see. I don't know.
That could be cool.
I have no opinion yet. As we go into it, we'll see. And then finally, we do have one more that we may get into. You may have seen it through Tartarian propaganda. If it's real, who knows? Maybe it is. But melted buildings being, I guess, mountains or various terrains actually being remnants of an old civilization. It's very possible. Maybe. I mean, I just don't think it's directed energy weapons, as some claim, that made it happen. So we'll see. And we're going to try to get an objective observation on some wild shit going on. So without further ado, welcome. And let's get into it.
Do it.
So you live right next to the Cahokia Mounds, Justin. You're pretty close. It's like in your hometown, dude. Not really, but like, you're over there. It would
Not
suck
trying
if
to
you
like
were.
directly dox myself, but
Yeah.
it's I'm
Yeah.
adjacent.
If you were in the Cahokia Mountains, you'd probably be in some trouble because that's in East St. Louis, and that's if you
Yeah.
haven't heard, it's not a place you want to hang out at night
I
or
go
the
there all
day.
the time, dude. It's pretty chill.
Go to the East Side, hit the strip club, baby. The Pink Slip, baby. Fuck yeah. Anyway, dude. Yeah, so I've been over the Cahokia Mountains over there. They throw it in the middle of the hoods. That way nobody pays attention. I think we mentioned that before, even on here. And, when we went there, and we've had the theory of maybe they could have all been periods, but maybe they are pyramids, but maybe they are just what they seem to be, just mounds. Because there are weird shit like serpent mounds, other places.
Mm.
So maybe there was a mound building society as well, not just pyramid builders. So there's the Cahokia one, the Mississippian cultures constructed huge earthen mounds, earthly made mounds, often for ceremonial, astronomical, which is what I think it kind of boils down to, or burial purposes. They say that they had like a king's chamber there at that big one.
Yeah. Supposedly
Crazy.
Monk's Mound had the king's chamber at the top or some shit.
Yeah, where they were buried like a chief of the tribe.
Yeah.
But early European settlers kind of assumed that these were too advanced for Native Americans, leading to myths of a lost race of mound builders. Huh. So maybe it just kind of started them. We'll find out. Some fringe researchers tie them to the Phoenicians, Hebrews, or the Atlanteans, suggesting this idea of it really backs up what we talk about in here, the New Age theories of, the what am I trying to say? The root race theory, which is very dangerous. And, we did a show with Outside Minds, and they're like into that, and that's cool. But I think it's a dangerous thing, man. Got to watch out because it falls into this Nephilim. Because I think that really, if it was a root race, we're talking about like the Nephilim root race, the one that got wiped out by Noah's Ark, right? Like that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think is going on there. And we could even apply some background shit to it later.
Okay.
Because I had my mind blown. I listened to a new episode of Tinfoil Hat, and I'm making this kind of episode for this, and then I just listened to that just because. And it was so odd, synchronistically, that he was just a guy just talking about seed wars, is what he called it. But
Seed
the
Wars?
Seed Wars is the idea,
All
but
right.
what it is, yeah, there's a new guy. He's got a book about pretty much the Bible and how the whole thing is about. I mean, to nutshell it, Adam and Eve may have fornicated with like the serpent and like
Oh man,
these
dude.
little g gods, and then because the first thing they did was covered up their private parts, right?
Uh,
So like to show shame like there,
yeah.
and it was like they knew their body, but maybe it was that. And he really lays some credence to it. There's plenty of other spots in the Bible, and I can show you because I took some notes from it that we can lay a little context to that, and it's kind of almost it makes a lot of sense because then after that, apparently God said something along the line of all the punishments were like reproductive related, where she was going to be hurting whenever she bears children and all that. It was going to be painful.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, he said something about how he's going to like split what she's having. And so she's going to have twins. And she ends up having twins, Cain and Abel. And apparently, one of them, Cain, was not Adam's seed, right? And he's
Whoa.
the one that kills Abel, right? So it's a whole thing. And then the guy kind of starts talking about how in the Bible, they just go like, this person begat this person, and they do it over and over. Well, it makes sense whenever you look at it from that angle that they're trying to follow the lineage of the bloodline of the Nephilim, dude. Isn't that crazy?
Damn, that
That's
is kind
legit.
of
Like what?
wild.
Yeah, bro. So I'm like, damn. So when you look at it from that context, this could have been the race that was living on Earth for a while after this initiated, and then they all seeded the Earth, humans and them. They lived together, and obviously we know the story of the giants not being satiated, so they eat humans and all types of shit.
Yeah.
And then that's when God, because of the blasphemy, covered the earth in water. Who knows what really happened? So
Damn.
again, this could be what the reason why I want to go into that because I think all that has to do with these societies that are covered up in history.
Hmm.
Pretty wild, man.
That's wild. What if there is like at the bottom of the ocean or some shit? There's like a gang of giants down there.
Well, apparently they found. Well, that's why I want to talk about the mountains and stuff. I'm sure our listeners are probably freaking out about. Like they found giants in Ohio by the serpent mounds. Yeah, I know. Elongated skulls. They found beings with elongated skulls by a lot of these places as well. So we're talking about in these beings with the elongated skulls. They talked about that in the tinfoil hat episode. I really recommend anybody listens to it. I'm not trying to steal anybody's flowers. He did great. I just think that it relates a lot to this topic. So I'd like to take a little bit of that and incorporate it. So yeah, man, there were some elongated skulls he talked about, and like legit in the womb already had an elongated skull. There was a pregnant, like somebody was pregnant who
All right,
had that.
let's see.
Yeah, and
Oh
so
no.
once he said that, I was like, a pregnant woman with the elongated skull baby. Once he said that, I was like, damn, dude, that means it was genetic, which again lays credence to the Nephilim idea. Don't they have a pregnant woman that they we're gonna show this on here. They should have a we're showing it on images. I'm sure our listeners have
Good
seen
grief.
the elongated skulls, at least on like the History Channel or something, you know. I wonder where he had his slides and shit. Like he already had it ready to go. Well, anyway, we'll see if we can post it on post show. See if we can't find it. We'll go back and look at that. So anyway, just to lay a little context, these mound builders and everything else could be a part of this ancient story that comes from the Bible, you know. And we had $28. Hey, I don't want to forget. $28 commented on our episode way back when, it feels like, Chillcast number 2, and said that we should talk more about how Christianity is different than all the others. And I think that it's a very good historical book when it comes to this kind of topic, especially. So we try to incorporate it where we can. I'm not a devout 100% like an evangelical Christian, so but I do think that there's a lot of truth. So let's get into some of these. In Peru, ancient societies, as we know, built large platform mounds and terrace structures. And the platform mounds are the style mounds we see in the Cahokia area, which is in Illinois, which means that they traveled all the way down to Peru from Illinois and did the same style mounds. I mean, otherwise, so again, we're looking at a global kind of system. And a lot of these align with the ley lines You familiar with ley lines, Justin?
I believe, yeah.
That's like the energetic lines of frequencies,
Yes, okay.
an invisible pathway of magical energy connecting significant ancient sites, monuments, and natural landmarks, which is exactly where a lot of these line up at. I mean, everybody knows, not everybody, I shouldn't always say that, but a lot of people know that, Orion's belt lines up with the Giza
Mm.
plateau. So, yeah, I mean, I'm thinking they definitely traveled all over the world. And a lot of people know about the Bering Strait. So that's probably how it was plausible. But again, maybe they had technology that was a little bit past that where it didn't just take having a landmass. Maybe they were able to seafare. Because if you look back into the ancient Aztec culture, they had a story of the Quetzalcoatl and how he came on a boat. And this is way before anybody could have boats, dude. Because this
Mm-hmm.
is back when like this shit first got built. And as we talked about before, a lot of these pyramids and megaliths, as they kept building as time went on, the architecture actually went down, which indicates that they perfected it at one point and then lost the technology, which could lay credence to their story that an unknown race of people came that were super advanced and they started building shit, showing them how to do stuff.
Yeah.
And then they took off. And they said that they'd come back. And then the next people that came back were the Spaniards.
Yeah.
And they thought, oh, that's our gods. And I don't know if you know this, but the Spaniards were given gold and women and everything because they thought that they were like the gods that came back.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
It is pretty fucking wild. And I think I don't know, the obsession with the mounds, like building mounds and making them is kind of like retarded. So did they just have a bunch of retards go
I love it.
crazy over fucking building shit like it was Minecraft?
I love that. I love that you think it's retarded because also, how did they? I mean, again, this is why I kind of think that there is a real structure under the fucking mounds because these are not just grass
Yeah.
mounds, in my opinion. I don't know. I can't back that up with any evidence, but
I mean, yeah, I don't know any fucking way to look up in there. But when you're there, at least at the one in Cahokia or the Cahokia Mounds,
yeah,
the there's no fucking way up in there unless they have a tunnel.
no, exactly. Well, I mean, they probably did tunnel shit too because when we incorporate the Hopi shit that we talked about not
Right.
too long ago, there was some
And they were
underground
like,
societies going on.
"Hey, we're gonna make these fucking structures up on the surface so they think we're retarded, but really we're gonna have all the juicy shit down under the
Yeah,
ground."
we're really under the ground. We just want to mark
Yeah.
where our good, where we go. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, you know, it's possible because I mean, in China they had massive burial grounds, like above ground as well.
Mm.
But I'm sure that underground they had like temples and all types of rituals they would do and shit, like most other
Oh yeah, they probably had some crazy
ceremonies.
shit.
Oh, for sure. So there was earthen and brick mounds also in India, and then also you had the Scythians, Scythian, which it kind of spells like scythe,
Yeah,
and scythe is like the Grim Reaper, dude. So that's just crazy.
that
And
is
these are
weird.
nomadic Eurasians,
You had the Scythians. Did you have the Jediians too?
probably so. In Africa, they had mega structures as well. In West Africa, besides Egypt, they had in Gambia there was thousands of stone circle mounds. Nubia and Sudan as well. They had pyramid mound hybrids. So this kind of indicates that it's a mixture of maybe primitive versus advanced, but also the same concept of what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these pyramids are believed to be, of course, power plants is the thing that people think it is. Burial grounds is the mainstream story. If you were to ask me, I would say this is where the initiation for the mystery schools would happen, which is what a lot of the people who practice the mystery schools and Freemasonry and shit say happened there. So I tend to believe the people who probably partook in it over the mainstream narrative and
Yeah.
the crazy alternative narrative, which is like it's an energy plant.
Yeah.
They had a generator. It's possible, but I'm not saying that I just put more credence into these weird like manipulative secret societies that seem to have been around since forever.
Mm.
There's possible connections with archaeoastronomy, as we mentioned, alignments with the solstices, equinoxes, and star patterns. And so they definitely had some. We know that they had in Babylon because they had the sun with the right amount of planets around it all the way back then.
Yeah.
This is the same society, right? Nimrod, when he left and got kicked out of Babylon, what did he do? It says he spread, his people spread, not just him, but what he represents spread. And so I think this is the the proof of that. It's pretty nice and crazy. Now, the petrified tree shit is kind of wild, but very fascinating. I came across this because a listener sent this to me. I've seen, I think, something similar. I sent you a video for it, and it's a little different. Mountains, mesas, and even rivers may not be what the mainstream geology says it is, but maybe the remains of landscaped remnants of a world built on titanic biological forms. Ancient silicon life, perhaps. So we'll get into that, but let's watch this little video that was sent to us by a listener. I'm gonna go ahead and give him a shout out. You give him a follow on Instagram. He's for spirit of the 4 night 4. There's plenty of 4s in that.
Nice.
For spirit of the 4 night 4. Okay, right on. Shout out, bro. Let's see what's up.
Bueno, para los que no han tenido el privilegio de ver cómo nace un río, así nace.
The petrified tree stump,
Piedra
it looks like,
de la
I mean, it is
montaña,
just coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
Ahorita, madre naturaleza.
So they think it's not just coming from an underground well, but perhaps out of the petrified rock, which is really tree. That's the idea. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it looks like water's just spawned. I know I made a joke about Minecraft earlier, but it really does look like someone just placed a water bucket right there.
Right here looks like Minecraft.
Well,
I don't know why. It's just
that for sure, but
yeah,
where the water was just spawning out of like a
Out of
1 by 1
nowhere.
block of
Yeah.
earth right there, that's definitely some Minecraft shit.
it's wild. Yeah.
That's pretty wicked.
Yeah, people think we live in a simulation for a reason. Is there more on here?
It got into some song.
Oh my God, what did I just do? Okay, it's okay. I think I just almost took a drink. Dude, I might have taken a drink of something I shouldn't have. All right.
Okay.
All righty. Yeah, we can. Oh boy. I hope that doesn't fucking kill me later. All right, anyways.
Some alcohol?
No, dude, it's been sitting here for kind of a minute.
What is it?
But it's like water, but it's like, oh, dude, I think my kids got to it, dude. A little backwash in there. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Oh, God.
That's sus, bro.
Oh, no. Did you see them? Some little
Ugh.
flakes fucking floating
That's
around in there?
Dude, you can't leave your shit around anywhere. Your kids will get to it. They'll
That's
fucking-
outrageous.
It's crazy, dude. Outrageous.
Out fucking rageous, dude.
I sacrifice and provide, and then I just get shit on. That's the life, dude. You know, it's a thankless pursuit, and it's okay. I will take it with a smile on my face.
You take one cool drink out of the water bottle, and then you get snowflakes in it, dude, later.
Dude, I don't know.
That
But
sucks.
it almost tasted like it smelled like medicine. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. My apologies for that. Hey, real quick, don't go. We want to tell you about our new sponsor. Our new sponsor is called Dubby. It's a clean energy drink made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like other ones, aka Red Bull. I still get that every day. I still buy those. I gotta
Yeah.
get this Dubby, dude. Get this Dubby so I can make the day a dub. I tried their sample pack. It's pretty good. I tried one that they just kind of give you,
Yeah.
know. So I want to try some that I choose. The strawberry watermelon looks fire. So I definitely recommend. It's got no sugar, maltodextrin fillers. Try saying that 3 times. And 150 milligrams of caffeine. There's nootropics, amino acids, everything you need to get that day done. All their flavors are unique, custom made by them right here in the USA. You'll never taste their taste anywhere else. Yeah, it's some good shit though. I highly recommend it. Comes out to about $1 a drink. You know, you toss a little bit. Hey, or you can split it in half. 150 milligrams, kind of a lot of caffeine. Unless you're a fucking wild boy like Justin, he likes slamming 3 fucking Red Bulls to the dome, you know? He
I'll
don't
do
play
it all
games.
day. I'll do it every day, dude. I don't care if my heart stops.
I've seen him do it. And it may have stopped once or twice. But yeah,
Probably,
so
yeah.
I highly recommend trying it out. You know, it's a little bit more of a natural and healthy version of what you may be trying out now, and it's definitely a little cheaper. So go on over to W, try our 10% off discount. 6G agenda, all caps. And let's get back to that show. We might cut it. Press play.
I figured you might want to.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Oh, wait, no, press play.
We already watched the video, cuz.
That was it?
Dude, look at
Oh,
what it gets
shit, all right.
Look at what it gets into after this. We don't need to watch that shit.
Why didn't you leave that on? That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Cuz, you wanted me to play
keep
that
on, bro. Keep that on, bro. Play that shit out, cuz. No, keep all this in, bro. Fuck you mean?
Tenido el privilegio de ver cómo nace un río. Así nace
It's so fucking loud.
la piedra de la montaña. Grita, madre naturaleza.
Yeah. Primary and secondary water cycles. So they're trying to scientifically prove it. All right, well, let's go. All right. It's just water coming out of trees, dude. Just water coming out of trees. That's all there is.
Dude, these trees are fucking
Water, dude, that
squirting.
tree's gushing. All right, I could have did without the Bollywood music, you know what I mean? All right, well, we'll play the next one. We're going to play the next one on mute. I apologize, all right? So I was, sorry. Sometimes I start vibing out to weird shit, and I realize, okay. I mean, I didn't put it in there.
Wait.
All right, so where were we at? Fuck, dude, we're going to have to cut this, too.
Yeah, this is going to be a lot.
Oh. All right, cut. So there's some just water coming out of trees out of nowhere. I mean, that's some wild shit. I don't know what to say with that. We're going to get into the theory behind that because that's just a video with no context. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
They're just like, here's some water coming out of a tree.
Oh, look at
That's
this.
it.
Cool,
You got to believe it now. That's it. You just got to believe it.
Yeah.
So there are many flat top bases and mountains that are even theorized to be fossilized stumps of colossal trees that once dominated the earth. You may have heard Devil's Tower in Wyoming, said to resemble the stump of a giant tree with kind of like columns as it goes up, and structures akin to vascular tissue, which I guess they think it's very similar to a tree that was petrified if you look at it real close. I've never been next to it, but I've definitely seen. I remember when I saw the pictures, I was like, damn, I could believe that maybe. A big ass tree.
Yeah, so this is what I've heard too. It was all the markings on the side were from a giant fucking bear trying to get this group of dudes at the top.
Wait. Hold on. Are you trying to tell me this is the mainstream story that those come from a giant bear? That's the mainstream.
I mean, look at this
hypothesis. Wait. But the National Park Service, why does it say that? Is this the mainstream idea?
NPS.gov.
Common question asked at Devil's Tower Monument is, how did the tower get its name? Indeed, the name Devil's Tower presents a contradictory dilemma. For once, an awestruck visitor steps into the presence of the tower. Nothing indicates a devil. The prevalent imagery is of a giant bear climbing the tower, an indigenous story that explains how the tower originated and how it got the grooves. So this comes from a indigenous story, and there's a tower bear lodge that's next to it. And so that's where it got its name. Okay, good. So it's not the mainstream story. So we don't have like geologists trying to push that. That's good. Good to know, because that'd be fucking crazy. And I wouldn't be able to believe that. You're telling me
You're telling me
that
a big ass fucking
bear
bear,
that's
dude.
like bigger than a fucking dinosaur was trying to climb up the tower. Okay.
That's like
yeah,
a
okay.
Godzilla sized bear, dude.
I mean, that bear is astronomically big. I
Yeah.
mean, think about, I don't know, like dinosaurs are pretty big, apparently, if they're real. But that motherfucker, dude.
That motherfucker
You
is
know how
pretty
tall the
large,
Devil's
cuz.
Tower is? I
Yeah,
mean, that
dude.
Devil's Tower is huge, bro. Anyway, so yeah. There's also in Australia something called Ayers Rock, which is Ayers Rock. Ayers Rock in
Yeah, dog.
Australia. What does that say? 5,112 foot tall bear is what must have been doing that. That's crazy. But yeah, in Australia, there's a massive petrified root system apparently called Ayers Rock. And it's probably very similar to yeah, I mean, they're stretching, don't you think? I mean, it is it's a random rock mound, but does that mean it just come on, bro? People are crazy.
Yeah, I'm not.
I mean, let's be honest, bro. People are nuts. This isn't far off from
I mean,
saying
maybe
that a bear,
these.
yeah. This isn't far off from saying that a bear did that.
Maybe a
You know what
bear
I'm
was
saying?
going super fast over these motherfuckers. I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually crazy. I'm gonna skip past this because it doesn't even have anything to do with the fucking trees, honestly. I mean, yeah, they kind of look like trees, but not really.
They
Like
kind of do.
this is
But this one
extremely
fucking doesn't. Devil's Rock sure does. Or Devil's Tower.
well, they say that the basalt columns are hexagonal like plant cell structures. So that's what lays a little credence there.
Okay.
And there's also a scale comparison where these formations look like cut stumps, roots, or splintered trunks when scaled up. So it's possible, I
Yeah.
guess, according to the analytic findings. There's also a silica link. Trees and plants contain silica. Petrification also often results in quartz-like fossilization. So in other words, there is tree silica inside of these structures, which would indicate either a very, very fast like petrifying of whatever trees were on the structure, or the whole thing's a tree. You know what I mean? Could be one of the two. But there could have been some trees on it, that just got petrified. Go ahead and say what the official story is.
Yeah, it's the material for the Devil's Tower. The AI overview for Google says it's faunolite porphyry. Porphyry.
Hell yeah,
What a
dude.
fucking word.
Yeah, dude. That's
A
why
unique type of igneous rock that
Hell
formed
yeah.
when magma cooled slowly underground. This rock is characterized by larger, conspicuous crystals of white feldspar in smaller dark green pyroxene minerals embedded in a finer grained gray or greenish gray ground mass.
Look up silica found on Devil's Tower. Or silica Devil's Tower. You know what I mean? Because they found silica. Silica. Devil's Tower is not primarily composed of silica, but of a rare silica poor igneous rock called. Oh, so they're on some bullshit. Oh, so they're on some bullshit. So wait,
Yep.
I'm kind of confused here. Maybe I'm tripping. Devil's Tower is not primarily composed of silica, but of a rare silica poor igneous rock. Okay, so like, dude, I'm telling you, dude, maybe a fucking volcano erupted and whatever trees were on that mountain, let's say it was a mountain at one point,
Yeah.
well, that motherfucker got eviscerated and then everything that was on it got petrified, like quick, or whatever. Because they're saying that it's magma as well. So cooled underground about 50 million years ago, the magma was rich in alkali metals and sodium and potassium, but low in silica.
Yeah,
So
it says the petrification process that turns wood to stone involves silica-rich groundwater.
Oh, I see. So there wasn't, dude. Yeah, so it's almost impossible for it to be a tree because there's not. They're literally saying it doesn't have enough of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, I think we're debunking that one, dude. The Devil's Tower. But let's talk about the rivers flowing from ancient trees, because that kind of has a little bit more plausibility in my head, more than the Devil's Tower. Rivers may not be natural erosion channels, but maybe they're remnants of sap from an old petrified tree, or the vascular system of like colossal trees. They're fossilized and hollowed. That's a hypothesis. Some researchers suggest that river basins are pretty much kind of these vascular networks of ancient living forms. So they think that
Interesting.
the old big ass trees, like when the dinosaurs were around, they just
Yeah.
held all that water, and then as they petrified, they just, I guess now they want to let them out. It's kind of odd. It's a weird theory. I mean, I still can't quite get to it. Mountain ranges collapsed petrified trunks that later shaped hydrology is another theory. And water itself might be biogenic, which is released from ancient tree structures or root reservoirs deep within the earth.
Mm.
So there might be some supporting ideas for this. There's something called fractal similarity. River systems branch like roots or leaf veins. The self similarity suggests a biological origin. It kind of makes sense. That one kind of does make sense. Water does move like the veins of a root system, if you think about it. But the sheer volume of water on Earth has puzzled some theorists. Did it come from comets, mantle outgassing, the collapse of a biosphere of titanic trees, and living rivers? Sometimes esoteric perspectives claim that rivers are the bloodlines of the earth, once pulsing through a giant body. That goes back to the Mother Gaia shit if you were to literalize it. Did you find anything good?
I'm thinking these things are either sure these petrified fucking trees are holding all this wood, or it's just a natural spring.
So some trees, it says, can provide an exit point for groundwater from an underlying aquifer, which could be what was in those videos. It's a possibility, dude. I think that almost makes more sense. But also, we've been lied, dude. We've been lied to a lot. So who knows?
Yeah.
But I think this is one of those, like, I don't get too excited for the Tartaria stuff and the ancient whatever, because I used to get really excited about it. But unfortunately now, as I've learned, like, there's so many fucking CIA psyops that they put out there. And I think a lot of these are those. Like, I want you to not understand your reality. Think about this.
Yeah, they just want you to like question everything or some
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Well, in Avatar, they put a big world tree there, right? Oh, so then this almost makes me think, when I think of the Devil Tower, if it was a world tree, maybe Avatar was real and back in the day it happened, and then they cut down the tree and we're so terrible and this kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
That could be literally when I do think of that when I see these theories, and I'm like, are they just running a game? Because it was, I know they do it. So then I have to be like, all right, is this one of those times?
Yeah, I guess it could be. I mean, I see all the shit now I see on my phone, I fucking question. So
Yeah,
whatever the fuck they're doing,
everything's a
it's fucking
psyop.
it's working, yeah.
Everything is a psyop.
Someone at work the other day said something about two rappers having some beef, and they were like, "It's about to go down." And I was like, "That's a fucking psyop, dude. Everything's a
Yeah,
fucking psyop, dude.
yeah.
Stop."
This rapper beef's real,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, dude.
It wasn't even real with Tupac and Biggie for real. I mean, it kind of was, but I mean, Tupac was a wild boy. I'm sure he did get pissed. He seems like the type to get mad over a little thing and then hold that grudge forever.
Yeah,
I think that's some type of shit that went down, bro. Because if
think
I'm not
so.
mistaken, I think he did that with Snoop Dogg. From
Right,
from
right.
Snoop Dogg's own mouth, that was what he kind of said. Is like,
Yeah, that's what I
yeah, he
thought.
didn't fuck with me. He wouldn't fuck with me no more.
Right.
And so that's why he was upset that he wasn't around. Hey, I could believe that. So yeah, I don't know, man. There could be something to it, world trees and all that shit, but it's this whole enchanted fantasy kind of bullshit too aspect to it, where I don't know. I try to stay in. I don't know. I try to stay in reality, but I'm clearly not.
We're here. We're here most of the time.
I'm kidding. So another thing that he mentioned, I thought was kind of curious. So I wanted to look into it. I dug into it. There's a few things that kind of have some credence to this. So figured it's worth talking about. The 200 angels in Enoch. Allegedly, there's 190 to 200 craters that might coincide with this theory. So in the Book of Enoch, back to the Bible here, there was 200 watchers that descended to Mount Hermon and fell to the earth, taking wives, teaching forbidden knowledge, and creating the Nephilim, which I would love to get back into what that episode of Tinfoil Hat was about, because that shit I really think is legit. This number 200 becomes a cosmic tally of the fall, each angel a being of celestial fire or light, striking the terrestrial realm. Approximately 200 to 190 confirmed asteroid impact craters on Earth. So again, do you think this is a psyop? Because why does it match up so perfectly with the idea of the Book of Enoch? Again, I ask you, I don't know. Do you think literal angels fell down and made a fucking crater on Earth? Let's be honest here.
I
Maybe, but
mean,
I mean, let's be honest here. I'm a believer that Paramount, all those stars that go around the mountain, that represents the watchers that fell around Mount Sinai.
yeah.
I do believe, or Mount Hermon, my apologies. I do believe that, but I don't know if I believe in literal craters from angelic beings. I think that it's more likely that it was physical, that these angels came down and became physical, almost human-like beings,
Sure.
and that they had children with women, and that's how you get the Nephilim.
Maybe they had ships, and that's where their ships like crash
Yeah,
landed.
dude. If something's making a crater that big and then plowing my chick, bro, you can have her.
Yeah,
Real
dude.
shit.
He's gonna
Real
punch
shit,
you
bro.
out of the earth.
Like, come on, dude. Yeah, I'm good, bro. You
Yeah,
can
dude.
have that.
Hey.
Oh, you're who? You're a watcher? Yeah, dude. You
Dude,
could be
I'm
a
good.
watcher. You could be whatever you
I'll
want, bro. I'm
move.
gonna go that way. I'm going that way. So yeah, I mean, ironically, when you look it up on Google, the first thing it says is there are approximately 200 to 190 confirmed asteroid impacts, which to me, again, it just hits a red flag, man. Like there's alarm bells whenever I see that. Like if it tried to tell me I'm wrong, then that would almost make me think it was more legit. But when it tells me that's the exact number, it kind of freaks me out. It
Yeah.
makes me think like, yeah, you're right. I can't trust it.
Yeah, if it was
Each
like,
angel's
actually, it's
yeah, go ahead.
120.
Right? Yeah, like then I'd be like, all right, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, because these angels didn't make a literal impact in the earth. I just really don't think that. But did asteroids represent angels back in the day? I don't know. You know,
Yeah, people seeing like a random rock falling from the sky, they're like, angel.
or were they plasma bodies that whenever they made an impact, it really did have that kind of effect on the material realm because it's a fucking raw, strong element. That's
Yeah.
possible.
Fucking
That's as far as I'll go. That's as far as I'll go with it. You know, there might be something to that. It's kind of odd.
weird.
But yeah, so what do we got here? Mount Hermon is near regions riddled with craters and basalt fields, which links to the myth with the geology. In Gnostic thought, fallen angels became archons, imprisoning humanity in matter, as we've talked about on the show. Some traditions connect fallen stars to fallen angels, where a third of the stars fall with Lucifer, interpreted as meteor showers, impact storms, or cataclysmic bombardments. Now, the cataclysmic bombardment shit is another thing that could lay some credence, because say that these societies were made and they had an advanced society, and then these people thought, oh, because we're advanced, God rained asteroids down on us and destroyed our society. And then what we got left was this idea of gods doing it and all this stuff, right? Dude, I could see that being a plausible thing that happened, where they had a real cataclysm going on and they thought it's because maybe they really thought like nature was God, right?
Yeah.
And then they thought, wow, we're too materialistic, we're too advanced, God is punishing us. And so then they related the two together and thought, oh, well, we were taught how to do this. I don't know. They had to have been taught by something, though, don't you think? Why did they talk about how they got taught by the entities how to do this stuff? That's the part that I can't quite connect.
What kind of shit were they on back? They had to have been
I don't
doing some
know,
shit
man.
we don't know about.
I think so. I also think that, when you're one with nature, like legitimately, not in like a woo woo way, but like just legit, like
Sure.
you just are in tune with everything. I think that there's a possibility that your mind decompartmentalizes some of reality and you see through the veil.
Yeah.
But I think that the more in material reality you're stuck in, then the less you can do that. And we've been shoved into about as dense material reality as you could be in these
Yeah.
square shaped homes we live in
Yeah, here we
that
are in a
literally
box.
box us in. Exactly. And so
Boxes
this
within
is
a box.
exactly. And homes back in the day, dude, they were round and they went room into room and it wasn't just closed rooms. It's been done on purpose. And I know Sarah Boston's going to love this and be saying, damn right it is. Because she agrees with that type of shit a lot, bro. I already know she's going to be on it. So, yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's funny.
You know what I'm saying?
The other day, me and my girl were talking about that. We were saying like older homes, they feel more like homes. Newer,
Mhm.
modern homes, they have like a more open layout and shit. It doesn't feel, I don't know, you just don't get that homey vibe, you know?
Yeah. Well, it goes back to the Ahrimanic age, man. Back to Rudolf Steiner, bro. Like,
Mm.
that all happened after the World's Fair. After the World's Fair, after the last reset of history, if you'd call it that, because I do agree with that concept only because if you look at the architecture from the World's Fair to now, we don't do any molding on our buildings anymore the way they did back
Yeah,
then. We don't do any like beautiful through sacred geometric patterns,
yeah.
gargoyles, the whole deal, right?
Like the stone masonry that
Yeah,
was in
it's
like back in the
comparable to
day.
what we were just talking about with the Aztecs and how as time went on in the Mayans, their architecture went down,
Yeah,
almost like their shit was reset. Or
yeah,
that's what they're doing to us now, man. It's so I do believe in the resetting of history. I just don't know if I believe to the level of Tartaria. You see what I mean? Like the
yeah,
truth's somewhere in the middle.
yeah. You used to be able to walk through a downtown whatever city and see some cathedral looking fucking building and someone be like, "Yeah, that's like a bank or a McDonald's."
That's what it is now, right? They gutted
Yeah.
it out. They kept the original walls so that way you could see that it was
Well,
here.
yeah, but now
You could
like the
see we're
new
capable.
architecture is just a big rectangle.
I know Cracker Barrel just learned the hard way. They tried leaning into that.
Yeah, dude, I thought that was hilarious. We said something about that a couple
And they
episodes
they
ago
got
or
that
something.
lawsuit, or they just switched it back.
They switched it back, dude. They couldn't handle it. Everyone
Well,
was
they
like,
spend
"That
like 10 mil.
sucks."
They spent like 10 mil just to put it back to what it
I
was.
don't know how much.
That's
Think.
amazing. I think I saw something that was like 1.8 million or 10.8 million. It was one of those. And I was like, wow, dude, what a waste of money. To what? To do that? I mean, that was $700 million for a new logo. So
Mm.
way more than I thought. $700 million. And then they wasted it. They threw that down the tank. That's almost a
That
billion.
is
That's almost $1
crazy.
billion to hand you a worse logo than my like AI could make. Like if somebody was like, "Yo, make me a really good logo with AI," they could probably do it. And instead, they said, "Just put Cracker Barrel on a yellow tag."
Yeah, how could you go from
I love it. I love it, dude.
old
700.
Uncle Sal to fucking this?
Somebody got paid $700 million for that, bro. Think about that.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. All right, sorry guys. So catastrophism and the science tie-in. Let's get back to that. The late heavy bombardment 4 billion years ago scarred the moon, Mercury, Mars, but Earth too would have been pummeled if they weren't in the way. What we know about the younger dryas impact hypothesis, I'd like to do a deep dive on this sometime. But we've referenced uh, Randall Carlson and wait, Randall Carlson. He's the one that mainly has the idea. I can't remember. Graham Hancock, the other guy. Those two have this hypothesis nailed down. Again, coming from a Freemason, so you got to take it with a little bit of a grain of salt. The Younger Dryas impact hypothesis suggests that a comet strike 12,800 years ago, which would align with generally the flood, kind of, and Atlantis simultaneously, that triggered floods, extinctions, and the fall of a golden age, right? They thoroughly believe Atlantis, which they still act like they think it was one island.
Yeah.
Atlantis was the whole one world government, one world religion that we're pointing to right now in this episode. The remnants of the mounds, the remnants of the pyramids, and the obvious one world kind of religion that seemed to be everywhere, that everybody had similar beliefs in this pantheon of gods. So this may, I mean, it was either a catastrophic event or it was like the Bible says, but again, it could have been a catastrophic event that the Bible described pointing to God. Ancient people may have remembered skyfire events as gods or angels falling from heaven. And that's kind of what we talked about. I mean, 200 impacts, and then they say that those are the angels falling from heaven. Hey, that could be the root of those impacts, is that these were like 200 pretty fucking big asteroids, and they pummeled the earth around the same time.
Yeah.
And we got annihilated.
Was there could have been a big rock, ran into another big rock, shattered into smaller rocks, and all those rocks.
Well, Randall Carlson's theory is that we pass through our orbit through the solar system. We pass through a asteroid field that has really heavy chance for impact, and we're actually passing through that right now. So, and they say it happens on a great year cycle. We brought up the great year cycle before, but we'll get into that another time whenever we talk about the Randall Carlson theory. The great year cycle, they believe, it's kind of based off like the zodiac. There's about 1,400 years per age.
Yeah.
The age of Aquarius right now, we just entered. Well, the halfway point across the great year cycle, we are technically at that halfway point from the last time that this happened, where the asteroids hit and all this shit, right?
Yeah.
And they believe that every halfway point, it tends to do it. So 12,800 years is about half of the great year cycle. So, hey, man, and we're at a weird time right now where it almost seems like if it was to happen on a cycle like this, and then it be like the days in Noah in the end times, that's pretty much what it's like. So we could be walking right into the same scenario again.
We could, dude.
It is a possibility. And I've thought that for a while. So each craters are not just scars, but binding pits of angels aligning with Enoch's vision of the watchers being chained until judgment. So if you want to look at it from that standpoint, if it was literal, then this could indicate where they were kind of held down at.
Yeah.
Now, let's get to the mainstream science views for anybody that's like, all right, what's the truth here? The number of craters is a coincidence. Earth's surface is geologically active, so many have eroded, and leaving far fewer visible than the moon or Mars. So it just happens to be 200. That is a wild thing to say. They're like, hey, the other one's eroded. It just happened to be what you guys said, okay?
Hey,
That's a wild one. Impact events are explained via solar system dynamics, not angelic descent. I can agree with that. But I do agree that things happen on a cycle, as everything else does. So, ancient peoples may well have mythologized, observed meteors, comets, and past impacts as divine beings, as we've said. So it is, it's probably what it is. But there is weird numerical synchronicity that we can't ignore with the 200 angels and the craters. Feels a little too close to ignore. Humanity often requires or equates falling stars with a celestial war, which is kind of like the myths and stuff like that we've seen. So a lot of this shit might not be literal, guys. You know what I mean? Like everybody's real heavy in their religions, but it's like how much of this is really just what it. Now, hold on.
Seems like they might be fucking with us a little bit.
The Bible has a lot of real history in it, though, and that shit. Don't throw that shit out. But there's also fuckery in there because the Council of Nicaea, the pagans infused the Bible with their ideology. So again, can't even trust that. So crazy.
So
let's talk about
wild, dude.
Go ahead.
No, that
Isn't it?
they fucking fucked with the Bible, dude.
They fucked with the Bible, bro.
Can't do
They always
that.
do fuck with the things we need in our life, right? So let's get to the final melted building hypothesis, and then whoever wants to straggle along and stay around, maybe we'll talk about Minneapolis. I don't know. The shooter. Das shooter. So the core claim of these melted buildings, let's go ahead and watch the video first, and then we'll get into that. We'll turn it down in
Petra, Jordan. We're told they were carved out of the rock. But what if the entire rock itself was once a structure? Hit with some sort of direct energy weapon like the vice. Hence why some of it looks like melted candle wax.
Melted candle wax.
Another theory is that mountains are the remains of dead titans, with perhaps the flesh being heated up and then the temples carved out of that. Either way, it looks like there was a lot more going on.
I don't even believe in this.
As
I listen to this dumbass try to explain it, I'm like, okay, dude.
Especially as some of these date back to the 1st century.
Bro.
The 1st century. Yeah, dude, this guy's
He's
lying.
talking like the sloth off the fucking Ice Age.
This dude is totally lying.
Yeah, dude. He sounds like the sloth on Ice Age, bro. He's got a little too much like spit in his mouth or something for me. Much of what we are told. Go ahead.
Nah, Tartarian red pill, bro.
Yeah, dude. Hey, go. Yeah, shout out to Tartarian red pill.
The Targaryens.
Fuck yeah, dude. Oh, the Targaryens. You think that's got something to do with it? You think they're fucking playing games?
Oh, no, I don't know. Yeah, dude.
The melted buildings hypothesis, much of what we are told are natural rock formations, might actually be the melted remains of a previous civilization's architecture. Cathedrals, castles, and even skyscraper-like structures existed on a global scale, and at some point were subject to some kind of intense heat or energy event, which, if you have a major asteroidal impact, it can create like this, what do they call it? Like a lightning, not lightning, but it can literally like petrify the wood instantly. Or not the wood, but rock. Like melt it. Like, I forgot what they call it, because Randall Carlson, whenever he talks about the Younger Dryas impact, he mentions how there is indications of that, but I can't remember the name of it. It's some kind of like, it's almost like when the asteroid hit, it does it so hard that there's like lightning that gets formed. Like lightning glass, like it turns the rock into glass. Glass asteroid. Yeah. No, you're saying lightning, but it's an asteroid. So like, it's not going to give you what you want there. Asteroid, lightning. All right, let's see what it says. Okay, asteroid striking Earth or extraterrestrial airburst can melt surrounding rocks into natural glass. But what's the name of it, though? It's got something that sounds like lightning. Whenever you hear it, like it's some kind of glass that turns rock into.
These molten fragments cool rapidly. They solidify in a glassy, amorphous material before falling back to Earth as tektites or forming into larger sheets.
Hell yeah. But yeah, it doesn't... Sorry, our apologies. We can't get you the name. The result of old stone flowed into wax, fusing into grotesque, melted, semi-organic looking landscapes from what could have been this plasma discharge or directed energy, cometary fire, solar flare, could have been a nuclear scale war, for all we know. Global examples are cited of this happening. In Turkey, you have rock-cut churches and caves and soft, tough look half melted. Also in Jordan, you have monumental stone facades that appear melted into the cliff walls. France also has its stone base looks like it flowed upward. Let's look at that, because that doesn't even make sense. Mont Saint Michel. Yep. Let's see what that looks like. Oh man, dude, that actually looks way cooler than I thought it would.
Yeah, it looks like Hogwarts.
What the hell is that, bro? Yo, click on the first one. Dude, that's a wild place right there, bro. So it does look like, speaking of the Targaryens, bro, that looks like what do they call that? Like the main place, the Kingdom's Keep or some shit.
Yeah, some shit. This looks like Hogwarts, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's crazy. That looks pretty cool, man. I would go check it out.
Yeah, I want to
Is
go.
that south of France? I bet it is south of France. It's supposed to be real fucking gorgeous there.
Mm,
Normandy, France. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's north. It looks crazy. Look at that castle on top. Yeah, that's got to be north, bro. Yeah. Africa and Asia have rock-hewn churches said to be built from melted stone, as well as India. There are some caves there with temples that appear as if they're carved from once malleable rock. So there's lots of this shit. And it could be plasma cataclysms, ancient plasma discharges. There's some stories of fire from heaven, like Sodom and Gomorrah, Vedic weapons. Ancient weapons, possibly directed energy ones, like a lost civilization theory, is kind of what our man Tartaria Red Pill was hinting at. And that's possible. Could be part of it. But more likely, it's a solar or cosmic event, massive solar micronova comet impact or atmospheric plasma storm that flash fried the surface of the earth. I could see that. That's kind of what I'm thinking, dude. And it could have literally melted it. Like, melted the rock, dude.
I mean, if it gets that fucking hot, absolutely.
Yeah. And could it be that some of these are buildings that got melted? I mean, shit, we've seen some crazy megalithic structures. Some of them might have got melted. I mean, legit, dude.
Could've.
So there could be other wonders of the world that didn't make it because of the cataclysms we don't know about. But many of these rock formations do mirror some Gothic cathedral spires, arches, flying buttresses, and domes. I've seen some of these desert rocks and crazy shit. I think I sent you an image, and it's got some of what we just described on there through your email. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, dude. Especially the ones out in like Arizona or like that looks like Arizona, New Mexico.
Yeah, this
Might
looks
have had
like
some.
that Mont Saint Michel shit we just.
I think it is. I think that is what that is. But yeah, there seems to be pattern like brickwork, block seams, some staircases even that are claimed to be visible on these mountainsides.
Yeah.
But mainstream science says that the melted looking stone are explained by cooling magma and erosion, just like the Devil's Tower. There's no evidence of global high heat events melting entire cities. And that's just a fact. But who knows? What is this? Tomb of the Primes. Oh, yeah. They did show one of these, didn't they?
Yeah, in
And
the
ancient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the
Because they
Revenge of the
again, the
Fallen.
psyop is they want you to believe in this ancient society that, you know what I'm saying? Like, dude, they just, it's like if you, okay, you know what this reminds me of? How these people view the times of Atlantis is like how a college football player, whenever he's 50, looks back at his college days.
Yeah.
It's like, man, you remember the days. You remember those days whenever we ran the world. Remember the days whenever we could just do what we wanted. And it really feels like all these movies and shit, they hint at it because it's just like the reminiscing of when times were good. You know what I mean? Whenever
Yeah.
it really wasn't good, it's just like, that's what I really think of it that way.
Yeah.
And also, don't forget the Transformers represent the Anunnaki, ancient astronaut theory.
Well,
And ancient astronaut theory comes from an Israeli, so I don't trust it. I
cool
said
though.
it. I don't give a fuck.
Transformers
That's a
are
fact.
cool though.
Israel's in the middle trying to cover their ass by having some crazy Minneapolis fucking shooter going. What? I mean, dude,
What,
seems
dude?
so. They're over here bombing. They bomb a hospital, and then people are over here trying to save people from the hospital, and then they bomb them in Israel. And then after that happens, you have this shooting, which was super anti-Semitic apparently, because he wrote 6 million wasn't enough, but then went and killed Catholics. Yeah, well, he said that 6 million wasn't enough, then went and killed Catholics. It's like, I thought you hated the Jews, bro. Why are you killing Catholics? And it's like, release the tapes, but I'm going to go kill children. But I thought the whole thing is save the children for the Epstein thing. And then you're like, release the tapes, and then you kill kids.
Mm-hmm.
This doesn't make sense. It seems like a psyop. We'll get deep into this another time. I just want to bring that up as a side note. But yeah, I think that the Nephilim and these ancient builders is what we're looking at here. And that's what I was getting at. And in Genesis 6, the sons of God mated with human women, producing Nephilim. In the Book of Enoch, the Watchers also taught forbidden knowledge like metalworking, building, and enchantments, which would be what we're seeing. Then you have many fringe theories that argue that these giants were master builders. I think that they were, and I think that's why the Freemasons call themselves master builders. And the great architect of the universe is the God they worship, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense. Makes a lot of fucking sense whenever you look at it through that lens. And so leaving behind massive stoneworks still can't be explained through that by just saying that they're fringe theories by saying they're master builders. We'll explain it then. So there's sites linked to the giants and elongated skulls. Peru, which was pretty close to some of these megaliths, as well as the Tiwanaku, Pumapunka, hell yeah, megaliths with precision cuts claimed Nephilim level engineering. And they also said that, these people lived here and now they're gone. We don't know where they went. They're giants. And even whenever the Spaniards came, they found people. Apparently, there's some writings from the Spaniards that went down to Maya, and there were still some of these beings there.
Yeah.
So in Lebanon, you also have trilithon stones with local legends speaking of giants as the builders. And Mount Hermon, where Enoch says 200 angels descended, there are nearby megalithic structures and ruins. So there might be something to it as far as like Mount Hermon could be the area where there was some of these watchers hanging out.
Yeah.
In their human form,
Right.
Even Zeus comes down in his human form. Think about it that way. Think about it from that lens. They can have some kind of whatever godly form, but they come down here and what do? They turn human, right?
Right.
That's exactly what I think happened with these fallen angels. The mounds in 19th, 20th century reports claim giant skeletons were found in the burial mounds, as we mentioned earlier, and the Smithsonian also often accused of covering up any inquiries of asking to check it out. They say the warehouse has asbestos, there's been a fire, like we aren't going to let you do it.
Yeah.
There's always an excuse. So yeah, there's definitely some giants and definitely some elongated skulls near these areas. And even the melted areas have megalithic, Nephilim giants that could possibly be coming around in there too. So yeah, dude, I think all this shit connects to each other. All of it's explained away by mainstream archaeology, and that's mainly what you can find out there, so we won't bore you with those details. But at the end of the day, I think there's some fuckery with the Nephilim. I think there's some truth to that. I think that the first sin may have been fornicating with these beings. That might have been it. You got to go listen to that episode with that dude on Tinfoil Hat, because I think it's great for the context even to this. Because I think you see this worldwide kind of following of these false gods.
Yeah.
All over the world after that. And it connects a lot of dots because, again, what do we talk about all the time, right? The bloodlines, eugenics. Who's interested in that? Could it possibly be that these people that know that they have a special line of blood that doesn't come from Adam, could it be that they're trying to keep track of it and trying to engineer themselves where they're the ones that run the world? Like, I really think that there's something there.
Yeah.
And so when you look at it from the lens of the fruit of the tree, could have nothing to do with the literal fruit and be, a woman bears a child and a tree bears a fruit, right? So with that, we'll leave you with some thoughts. Hopefully you enjoyed. We kind of switched it up a little bit tonight with some another megalithic episode. We'll probably get into telepathy tapes or something wild in the next one, I think. Get into how they're trying to create the disassociation with a lot of these children. Mind control, who knows? I also found something that said that they took we'll talk about this in the next one, but they took a lot of orphans and put them in MK Ultra experiments. I found some proof from a congressional meeting in the 1970s. So we'll get into that and a lot more in the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Justin, sign us off.
Peace.
Hell yeah.